Recording in progress.
So we're going to record tonight's meeting so other people can watch. We've got some high school clips tonight, so I see a lot of high school refs on here, which is good. Wayne's going to help me out. I just want to start off with that. The referees you see in this video tonight, you'll recognize, probably most of you. This is an opportunity to take these clips and help us all learn. And so please do not, after this, go out and start talking poorly about your other officials, because that's unprofessional. Just because your clip isn't on here tonight doesn't mean I may not have a clip for you next month. So this is really an opportunity for us all to learn. So that's what I love about these clips. We never used to be able to see clips of our own games. We had to watch what they do at the Premier and MLS, because that was the clips we could get. So I'm going to start with this one tonight as a warm-up. Once we show the video, I will give you an opportunity to make the decision through a poll, and then we can talk about what the feedback was. Okay, so now you got to see what the ref decided, what was his decision. Now you kind of know where the contact's going to be for the potential foul or foul, and I'm going to give you one more chance to watch it. So here's the next one. Is it coming through okay, Wayne, or is it choppy?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to share some results of the poll. And now I'm going to hopefully okay. What's your call? Okay, about half of you have decided to take a poll to participate. I'd like a little bit better than 60%. Okay, I got 70%, 30%. Hopefully they're not in the middle of any of my games coming up here soon. Okay, can you guys see the results?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you, somebody, Jeremy, for letting me know. So we've got 63% that say no foul. We've got 5% that says a penalty kick. 11% foul and caution, and 21% with a penalty kick and caution. So let's go with the no foul. Anybody want to talk about the no foul? Did everybody miss that tug on the shoulder? Did I lose everybody? Did I freeze?
Play it again.
Yeah, I missed it.
Play it again.
That was choppy there.
First, ref is too far away.
Too far away. Anybody who had the calling it as a foul and or foul and caution, what did you see? Wow, it's gonna be a long night tonight. I had at least 3 people say there was a foul.
Okay, so just to make sure, the white team's attacking, red team's defending. Is that?
Yep.
Am I reading that right?
Yep.
Okay, so then I guess what I'm seeing now on a further watch is the red player right now. He's kind of second from the left of the frame, tugs on the shoulder of the white player as he's running through the area and tries to slow him down from getting to the ball.
Yep. That's how I see it, Mike. Anybody on the no foul situation? I know we're a little bit away. Unfortunately, these cameras are at the halfway line and we get as good as we get here. Any feedback after the slight tackle there that you would want to bring to the conversation?
Richard, can you
Yeah.
can you stop the video right when the when the tug occurs? Right there. So I mean, someone made the comment that they thought the referee was too far away, but that's, you know, you can always be a little bit, that's not that bad. I think that the vision is there. And you know, when you look at it, something like that, and I think part of the problem now is we see too much hands grabbing each players as we watch games on TV. And remember, this game is not on TV. This is a game that you're reffing. So at that level, those players can play through that kind of contact. At the levels that we work at, players cannot play through that contact. So why allow them? And then the second thing here is you have 2 red players and 1 white player. So why do you need to foul him there when it's 2v1 from a defensive standpoint? So for me, 2v1 and the 2's fouling the 1, you get a yellow card for being stupid, first of all. You don't have to really pull him down, because why would you not shepherd him out of bounds if there's 2 of you going against him? And you have to, I don't know, I want to say, quit thinking like a referee and think like a person in situations like this. You know, what's fair and what's unfair. It's unfair to 2v1 and then you grab him. Okay. It's cut and dried.
Thank you, Ray. I think, and I think you've got a good point there, because really that defender, that's the last chance for them to stop that white player from making a play on the on goal. And let me be sneaky and try to just do this nice little tug, and most of the time refs won't call it because it's not blatant and obvious. Okay, I'm going to move us to the next one because we've got lots of clips here tonight. And this one I'm going to talk through a little bit more. I'm just going to play the event here and then we can talk. Excuse me. Okay. So in the matter of, I don't know, about a minute here, we have now gone over and given a bench warning for some technical area issues and given a yellow card and then a red card without a restart of the match. And I think this is a great clip because I kind of want to talk through two things here. I want to talk one about how do we deal with the technical area because I'm getting some feedback on the technical area. So maybe we should talk tonight on some good tips on how to maybe manage the technical area. And then two, I want to talk a little bit about providing a ask, tell, remove all in the matter of a minute. And I'm going to translate that also over to happening on the pitch with players, because I've also seen where we've gone from warn, caution, and red card, and we haven't restarted the game between all three of those steps. And so maybe this can help us in less paperwork and also can maybe help us with managing the overall experience and game. So I think we saw that we were having issues in the technical area. I'm going to guess that maybe the AR wasn't able to get up and down the field very well. And I think that probably the coaches were stepping into the area and not staying behind that white line. So anybody got ideas on when you've got a coaches that continually encroaching the touch line on how you keep them back so your ARs can get up and down the line?
As an AR, I'm making friends with them and politely asking from the very beginning. I already know their names by that point, right? To be like, hey, you mind stepping back for me, boss? Oh, I'm right here. Oh yeah, sorry, ref, sorry. Is usually the answer. Yeah.
Okay, so trying to use some of our personality to get them to hopefully stay in their technical area.
Yeah.
What other tactics have people used that they found to be useful?
I usually let them know, hey, if I can't make it down the line, I'm going to miss a call. You're going to be mad at me, but you can prevent it if you just take a step back. And that usually goes over pretty well.
Yeah, so letting them know that you may miss an offside call for them and a goal gets scored on them, and or maybe you're going to have to call offside because you can't get into the right angle for them, prevent them from scoring a goal.
Ditto.
So sometimes I'll use my Roadrunner horn as I'm coming right behind them, just at the beginning of the game, and then it kind of, if it persists, then it kind of escalates a little bit more. Hey, you got to give me room. You got to give me room. We all want to get out of here without getting hurt.
So it looks like at some point, either the center referee here or the AR, somehow there was some type of communication to say, hey, we need to address the technical area. I'm sure all of us have struggled this year in regards to Kennedy's technical area because they love to challenge all of you in your ability in managing them. And so what have you all found to be successful strategies with beyond the AR now? So AR's tried, so now we're going to ask for help from our center. What are we using as strategies for the center to deal with it?
Well, this is Mark. I guess one thing that I would have probably also done before issuing a red card is move that individual away from the group, have a more one-on-one conversation versus a group conversation, and just tell him the consequences and then move on. If he persists, then a red card comes out. But in a group environment, it's a gang approach. You know, they're ganging up on you. So have a one-on-one conversation.
I usually talk about it in my pregame. So the first time the center came over, I would have said, hey, if I'm coming over at all, somebody's getting a card. Like, period. If you can't handle that point, now somebody's getting a card. And so there was almost like this time lag. I was almost waiting for that first card to come out like almost immediately, right? And so like now but again, it starts from pregame, establishing what the expectation is as a crew, the crew and his group. And so now it's like there was a long conversation that went on too, right? And so like now you're inviting more vampires into your house at that point. So it's quick. It's like, ref, I need you off the touchline, or whatever the conversation was with the AR, and now here the issue is. No more of that. Get restarted. Now you have a chance to give let them calm down from that point, right? Because everybody's heated, obviously, and you can get if they persist beyond that. Now that you can't help it, they're going to get go see the cashier, as it were, right? So here's your second yellow, but give them a chance. Is what I would say.
Right. And I want us to always remember to keep on our consistency in which that our tools are ask, tell, remove, warning, caution, red card. And so if we are using the ARs giving the warning, and when the center goes over, they're giving a yellow, I encourage us to use the terminology, hey, coach, my AR's already warned you. I'm now telling you with the yellow card that no more, you need to stay in your technical area. And that way they're not seeing you skipping a step by not getting that warning. So we got to stay consistent with that. I'm going to always encourage us to have brief conversations. Having long conversations, all that does is create more opportunity for them to argue more things and draw it out and make it about the referee and the coaches and not all the players that are on the field. So we should be nice and brief about it. Anything else that somebody has for feedback in that sequence of events that could help with a maybe better outcome?
Vasilius here. Do you hear me?
I can hear you, Vasilius.
Yeah. So the best what I saw on the video, it was like the bench, the sitting bench, it was like half of the technical area. So if the referee managed this situation and take the bench all the way behind and have the technical area over there clear just for the players and the coaches, that will have more space because everybody was tight over there. So, and everybody was on top of each other, close to the line, and the AR didn't have the space, enough space. This is what I saw. So what I would do is before I start, I just give them. So yeah, as we can see, the bench, it's on the grass. We can put it back, and then everybody have their space over there, and we'll have a little bit more space. When I start the game, I just tell them on the beginning, I want you to be on your technical area. Or in Renton High School, Renton Memorial Stadium didn't have any technical area. I tell them, be on the track. Don't step on the grass. Just give them some spaces, a specific space to where they're supposed to be.
Yep, I think that's good to kind of outline for them what their good space in which to do it. I'm going to encourage all of you that you should not be issuing a warning and then a caution and then a send-off without a restart of the game between those three steps. When when we give that warning, and I know as we were walking away, there was further comments, I think, that potentially were made. We should just keep walking and get the game started. Because from this video, I'm not hearing anything that had to be addressed per se. Giving them the opportunity to cool off and giving us an opportunity to cool off. Technical areas, and look at this technical area in all those bodies. It's a pretty small space in which to keep them in. And as long as they're staying off the touch line for us, and if somebody's wandering up towards the halfway line, but then wanders back down, I don't think we need to be paying much attention to it unless they're creating problems for us. And then again, using that nice space there that says, hey, remember, I told you, you got to be on the track, coach. And hoping that they get back to there. This is the same to go with when you have a situation on the pitch with players. If you call a foul and you issue a yellow card, and then unfortunately there's some conversation that's going on that isn't pleasant, please don't issue another yellow card before getting the game restarted for dissent, because now we became part of that issue. We own half of the dissent because, one, we didn't get out of there to get the game restarted in time. We didn't just let the person have their emotional outburst after getting the caution for their reckless tackle, but really think through, how am I going to issue my yellow card and get the game going again? And so if this guy wants to be an idiot, or this gal wants to be an idiot, I'm going to let them be an idiot and get the game going. And then I can hopefully let them cool off, and so I don't have to give a second yellow. So when you start thinking about, okay, I issued this person a yellow card and they're making me madder and madder, so I'm going to solve it with another yellow card. Remember my voice saying, should you really be issuing this yellow card because you haven't even restarted the game yet? And is this your yellow card for not doing that, as opposed to the player or coach's yellow card for them being an idiot? Anybody have some thoughts or questions about kind of that concept? Jeremy.
Hey, Richard, this is Jeremy. I was going to ask if what was in the report, if it was detailed exactly what was said. Not that it matters. I really like your concept of just making it brief, getting back to playing the game and getting away from the situation, because you're controlling it and you're letting it flow rather than doing the yellow and then the red. And then, because it pretty much is just going to escalate the sideline even more after a send-off.
Yeah. And please do not take that this is what you should do every single time. I'm not saying that there's not going to be a time in which you should issue a second yellow without a restart, but I'm starting to see people do this more. And then it becomes a reflection on us as officials and us issuing misconducts recklessly, as opposed to us trying to help manage the game and the behavior. And I don't know, Wayne or Ray, if you guys have anything to add or wisdom to speak, or maybe you differ on my opinion.
No, your words are very strong as always. My new tactic now is, when you show up and if you're gonna, I don't know if this was a high school game or any game, and you see the technical area, I think Basilia said it best in terms of, if I'm on a high school game and the track is close to the touch line, I asked them, can you move the bench to the third row? Can you coach from the red? That way, and can you please move your bench back? So therefore, during the course of the game, if you happen to walk up, you won't be in the AR's way. If you guide them to good behavior, then when they kind of cross the line, you can refer to that. You've already asked them during the warm-up, during the pregame, what to do. And then remind them, remember we talked about, can you please be a little bit back? And then that first interaction is more of a pleasant one than an angry one. And try that. But we have a friend that always says, please and thank you go a long way. Can you please do this? And I'm going to thank you now so we won't have no issues later on. Because again, someone said, as soon as someone is in the way and we miss a call, guess what? There's a reason why we missed the call. It's because of you. And then you point the finger back at the individual. So set them up for success by telling them where you want them to stand. And, the video that you showed us had a marked technical area, and it still didn't help. And so just, when you have a marked, remind them, oh, geez, look at that. Can you stay inside there during this game? It would be awfully nice. And then you're just having a friendly conversation. Just try that next time.
My only, I guess, consideration would be, if you possibly can, try not to be confrontational to the coach, even though he has maybe stepped over the line a little bit. And instead of, being face to face with him, trying to get a little sideways or get a little separation from the team area, and say something to him to the effect of, Coach, I really would like to keep you into this game. Let's respect each other. And, so it kind of puts the onus back on him. If he doesn't behave, then he owns whatever happens after that. So that's just a technique that you may want to try.
Hey, Adam, I see your hand up.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So I actually had this scenario twice this weekend, once in a high school match on Saturday, and then one of the college friendlies on Sunday at Starfire. The high school match was dealing with parents, and the Sunday match was dealing with players. So technical area versus the parents. The one on Saturday with the high school match, it was out at Hunts Middle School. So it's got a track and it's got bleachers outside the track, but often apparently parents are able to come up on the track. So before the match, bought goodwill with all the parents and fans saying, hey, I'm okay with people on the track, but let's stay on the third row or further back. They gave them that line of, do not break this line, if you will, and instantly got goodwill with all the parents, and they enjoyed it because I told them, hey, I know most often other referees will say no one's on this track, but I will let everyone stay on the track so long as they're no longer in the third row. And it was a great game, and no issues at all, comments, nothing negative from the parents throughout the match and after the match. On Sunday, we had one of those college friendlies. We did 3 of them or whatever. And this was surf in Pierce County, so the boys. And we had 27 cats on the Pierce or the surf team. So lots of bags, lots of gear. And I just talked to the coach before the game. I said, hey, Lee, I know you got a lot of players. Can we make sure that the gear is back? Players started showing up a little bit later and more gear showed up. I said, hey, coach, can we please get the gear moved back for the safety of the players? The game did not need a yellow card. And then when it didn't happen a second time, I said, hey, Lee, we need to stop this. We need to make sure everyone's safe. I'm not going to restart the match until all the bags are moved. And everything was moved back. No need for a yellow card. And when it was done, I said, thanks, coach. Really appreciate that. And then we started the game over. We're started again. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. And I agree, the safety of the players is a great way to explain both to coaches, players, and spectators to get back up off those touch line. So that way players can stay safe. And Mark, I see another comment is that, can coaches demand that the technical area is their space only? I'm not sure what you're asking, because I'm not sure I want to be in their technical area. So I don't know if you want to come on, Mark. Do you want to put yours up, Wayne, for our next one?
Yeah.
Mark, what were you going to say? What were you asking
Well,
about their space?
I was just
only?
going to say that technical area is really thin, and the coaches felt that if I touched their technical line, regardless of where the play was, I was infringing on their area, and that's where all the anger came from.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Starfire did not paint that technical area very good on Starfire on field 1. It doesn't seem to be far enough off that touch line. And I think with that, I would have either ignored the request or said, hey, sorry, I'll try to stay on the other side of the line for you. But I think Kennedy is a challenging technical area, and I think we all got to dig deep on how we use our personality to manage them. And creativity usually makes them laugh and usually helps them do what we're hoping for. Okay, Wayne, you want to start off with clip 1 there?
Yeah. By the way, I was on this game, so guys, be careful what you say. So, no, the point is what Richard said at the outset is these clips are for everybody's benefit, and if we can all learn something from each other, that's the intent of even showing video clips. The first one is one of an offside or not offside decision, and there's a bunch of considerations in it. And I just want to show that to you just to kind of get started. We won't take very long on that. Then I want to go into 2, and depending on time, show as many as you can and end up with clip 6, because that's the probably the key one. Okay, so let me see if I can play my video here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk a little bit. There's a ball passed right there. And I'll play it one more time and perhaps stop at the, whoops, I'm sorry, folks. Okay, so there were several situations in that clip. So somebody want to talk about? Well, you want to put your poll up first, Richard?
Yep.
Should this be an offside decision?
This is an offside decision.
I didn't do an offside as an option, Wayne.
Okay, so hopefully everybody has no foul.
I got 4 people who've done foul so far, and
And
one
we got some
send off.
people who's already got a send off here. So
Can we go for
Can you
foul?
go back? Can you go back to where the one player looks like he's receiving the ball?
yeah, I'm going to go through a little bit of this here in just
Okay.
real quick. Go ahead and stop it. You want to share yours? Don't even. I'm just going to kill the poll here. Did I
Yeah.
kill it? Yeah. I'm going to see if I can back this thing up here. Okay, so you got a player right about the 30-yard line
Oh, there he is.
with a ball at his feet. Can everybody see that? Blue, and blue is attacking to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right about the top of the end, you got a blue player, right? And then you got a moment of touch right here.
It's
Right
offside.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you got a defender. The ball is going to go right there. So question number 1 or question number 2. And a teammate right there. Question number 3. So in this one little clip, people that think carrying a flag and judging offsides is an easy decision. There's three things that happened in that clip, correct? Ray, you're a national A. You were a national AR. What do you see?
If the ball, when the ball was passed, are we saying it hit the first white player?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, here's when the ball was first passed, right
Because
here.
at that point in time, I have the attacker offside, the player in front, because it's the part of his body he can play with the ball is his head is further forward than this defender that's closest to the to me. That's what I'm seeing right here. Then the
Okay.
question is, does the initial white player, does he touch the ball? And if he only deflects the ball, the way the new law interprets, that means we're gonna raise our flag, because you have to be able to control the ball.
And that's this incident right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that a play or deflection? That's what Ray's talking about.
Yep, that's a deflection to me.
Okay. And continuing that on. Is that a play?
By the blue player?
The blue teammate kind of kicks it with the back of his foot.
And if he does.
If he does, then we got a second offside decision, right?
Yep.
So since that's the attacker and it's a deflection of the attacker and the player was in offside position. So I guess the intentional play is for defenders, not for the attackers. The attacker.
Well, remember the way the new law reads is that it has to be a controlled play. Because now you can remember before, if you just touch the ball, that reset the offside. But now it has to be controlled. And that's not controlled. That would be considered, you tried to make a play, but you couldn't, and you cannot benefit from that anymore. So at that point in time, I would be raising my flag in that scenario there.
Right. So the only last thing I'm going to say is this is the moment of touch. In real time, this is a cold, wet night, okay? And you're looking at, in real time, trying to catch up here maybe, half a yard. So that's how close that was. So, I wouldn't criticize whether on or off, but looking at the video, I would agree with Ray. This was probably offside. Anybody, any other comments?
Yeah, Wayne, this is KD here. We have the luxury of VAR right now because we're reviewing the video.
Right.
And in real time, that is just a hair offside that you may not be perfectly down the line to see. And even if you were down the line to see, my understanding is that when in doubt, let the attack go. I would say that for me personally, 99% of the time, I'm letting that play. Sure, on video review, I might say I'm wrong, but in real time, without VAR, I'm letting that go on the first offside. The second one was a lot more, there was a lot more clarity. If that second blue player actually not deflect, but if he backheeled it to the attacking player.
At that point in time, the attacker makes it easier to make the call. I think the first one is the issue.
Right.
Right.
And so, and I think that what happens is, it's not at that point in time, in reality, it's not the AR's decision. The AR is going to either pop his flag or not. If the AR were to pop his flag, the responsibility would be for the referee to say, oh, there's a deflection, and then wave the assistant referee down if you saw the deflection. And that would be the mechanic right there. That's why it's a shared responsibility, not just the assistant referee raising their flag, but then the referee sees it because it's closer to them, because the AR is in line with the second last defender. You wouldn't expect the AR to be able to pick that part up.
Right. So my question then is, the rule of thumb that I have been using as an AR, when it's that tight and you are in doubt, keep your flag down. Is that an appropriate rule of thumb?
KD, for our games that we do, if you're the first statement you made, if you're not 100% sure that he was offside, keep your flag down. Okay.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay. That's the teaching from USSF and everybody. Okay. Video clip number 2. deals with a handball or handling incident. So thoughts on this one? And I'm going to stop this one just for play and just to kind of give you a little bit. Okay, again, the ball is at the foot of the blue player. Right at between the top of the K and the E, you see a white defender with his arm in the air. And so I'll let it play through here or drag it a little bit further. And he obviously touches the ball. And we'll go from here. And some players are protesting. So Richard, put your poll back up. What do you got? Everybody participate, please.
Okay, about half of us have participated. Come on, 7 more people. Okay, 5 people haven't, but we'll share the results. Did they come up for you, Wayne?
Yeah. It looks like about 65% or so had a foul and a caution, and the rest of the other had just a simple foul here. So somebody want to tell me why you have just a simple foul here? Anybody can talk besides Ray.
To me, the white defender was just trying to tell his teammate, pointing to his teammate, hey, cover that guy, cover that guy. Yes, he made his body bigger. The ball hit his hand incidentally, so it is handling, but I don't see where that reaches a level of a caution. It wasn't, maybe you can argue there was a spa there, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, it was ball to hand more than hand to ball, I think.
Right.
Okay, and then how about somebody that had a caution as well?
I saw it as intentionally handling the ball. Also, the guy's only 8 yards back, so he's trying to break up whatever's attack is going to start, and he has his arm raised to intentionally get in the way and prevent it.
Also, the arm is over his shoulder, so he makes his body bigger. It's just when the arm is over the shoulder or hands over the shoulder, I think that's kind of the.
And it looked like he jumped too to get closer to the ball, I thought. So that's the real question to me, is whether he's trying to hit the hand on the ball intentionally. If so, I would say a caution.
Okay, the final decision is going to rest on Ray as our national coach. What do you have, Ray? Ray, did I lose you?
We might have lost Ray. I know he was having problems earlier.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I was asking
what was
you
your call, Ray?
offensively or clip.
I have yellow card because he raised his hand to play the ball. I mean, last time I checked, we don't run with our hands above our head more than like one, unless we're jumping up to. There's only one reason to put your hand up right there. That's to prevent the pass from going through.
So the way I saw it, Ray, and I wouldn't know unless I was on the field to hear. Sometimes that player is telling his teammate, cover number 50, cover
No,
number 50.
no,
You're
no,
raising your hand
no.
pointing to
KD,
it,
These,
right?
Is that a natural position? I
It's
don't
not
care
a
what
natural
he's
position.
saying.
What I'm saying is he could be pointing to his teammate. Watch number, whatever that
not,
number.
not,
Not,
he
not,
took a
I,
risk.
I'll help him with this, Richard.
Yeah.
These are high school kids. They know what they're doing. They're not. If this was you 8, I get it. I would argue to give him the card anyway because they need to learn. But I give him a break because he's 8. Anyone who's playing high school ball right now, the good players play on super good club teams. The average players play on mid-level teams. They know what they're doing. The score is 0-0. I had assumed Kennedy Catholic in this game was in the blue, and then
yeah, the other way around. It was
other way around.
It was the other way around.
Okay,
K.
but
Yeah.
in
So
a 0-0 game, you're preventing a promising attack. You don't want to start. You don't want to go behind when there's a quick counterattack and they may be going to their best player. That's something that we don't know because we weren't there. I'm just making an assumption that the reason why you would do that because you don't want the ball to go wide left because that must be the dangerous player. And that's the reason why you give the card because guess what? If you give it now, it won't happen again. If you don't give it now, when it happens again in the second half or later in the game, then you're going to wish you said, oh, if I would have given it in the first half, it wouldn't happen again. So go ahead and give it.
okay, this is all of these clips are from the same game, if you could believe it or not. So,
Learning opportunity.
another point is don't go to sleep and just take any game for granted. There's always stuff that's going to happen. So the question on this one is toward the end. Okay, you got a player inside the penalty area. Again, blue is attacking their goal, white is defending. And I'm just going to drag this. Okay, go ahead and put your poll up again. The question is, do you have a foul? Do you have a foul and a PK? Or do you have a foul PK and a yellow card?
We're about halfway through of respondents. Okay, we hit 83%. So we've got 13% with no foul. We've got 45% with a penalty kick and 39% with penalty kick and caution.
So Richard, you can take the question and dialogue and dissect it because you got pretty much half and half, either a PK or PK and caution.
Yeah.
See what the group says. Lead it.
I'm sorry, I lost my screen here. So what I guess what I'll ask is for those that felt that there was a caution involved, what was the caution for?
Well, I have a few things on this. Late in the match, far left, center needs to be out there. It means fitness, right? You got to be ready for this. First off, probably call the first foul in the D. Keep myself out of this situation. Call the first foul. So second, so now we didn't call the first foul. Now we're out here. We're calling it from, what was it, 25 yards away, 30 yards, I don't know, something like that. And so we really can't make an educated decision necessarily, but we're gonna call it anyway, right? Or not. You'll be able to sell it either way if you're closer. I had a pen and a caution because of stopping a promising attack. We do have this guy over here. He's about to be by this guy. Yes, there's another defender right there, but you have this guy to cross to on the far right. So
yours is for stopping the promising attack.
yes, he's
Okay.
around.
Okay, thank you for the comments on the referee's position. Because I think that that's a big piece here for all of us, is that when we're 20, 25 yards away from a foul that's occurring in the penalty area, we are not close enough to sell any call that we're making. One team or another has a valid gripe on why it didn't go their way. For those that didn't have caution, any words of why you felt it wasn't a caution?
It's only a reckless foul. It's not, excuse me, it's only a careless foul. I'm sorry. Use my words right. It's only careless. It's not a promising attack because look at the numbers. To have a promising attack, you have to have the numbers in your favor. At that point, you have one blue shirt going against theoretically 3 white shirts. 1v3 is not promising. So therefore, you can't use SPA as an option.
Can we rewind that? I'm hearing you, Ray. But like, what happened? This guy this guy is right in front of him there in the beginning when it actually happens.
Well, the Ray's point is the blue. I can slide it back a little bit. Hopefully I can anyway.
That's really good. No, you're right, Ray. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so there's one, and there's at least 3, and there's potentially 4
white shirts,
white shirts that are in there. Okay. The other thing I would suggest to you is if it was for a SPA and it's inside the penalty area, what happens? You're going to give the PK, and because it was a fair challenge inside the box, okay, even though it was a foul, okay, the yellow card goes away, okay. Remember that, guys. That's a new thing here, okay.
It's not new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even
Thank you, Wayne. That was a good reminder.
Even if it was dog so, you would only give a yellow and not a red on that foul at that area, correct? So just remember the new directives. I got one more.
Wayne, one last thing. Kenji, I liked your comment about it. Looked like a clumsy challenge more than an intentional one. And I watched a lot of clips from this this game for different questions, and it reminded me on how clumsy and how out of control high school boys play. And even with just the size differential in this game, blue definitely fell to the ground way more times than white did. So clumsy, but it is a foul there because he takes him out from being able to make a play.
Yeah, and there was a clear trip on that. And Jeremy, I just want to hitchhike on your point a little bit. There was a lot of easy fouls, you use the Mo's term here, simple fouls, that could have been called outside in this area where everybody was knocking each other, and you could easily just made a decision there, which would have eliminated that controversy there. Okay.
Hey, Wayne, can we go back to a comment you said a couple minutes ago? You mentioned even if this was a dog so, you award the penalty and you give the yellow, not the red. That is only true if the defender was attempting to play the ball. If he had no attempt to play the ball and took the attacker out, you still give a red there, correct? That's the directive from IFAB, right?
The directive is if it was and Ray, you can help me out here a little bit too.
You'd have to be holding, you have to be like holding him, pushing him or something like that. and not playing the ball, then
Right.
you would,
Or-
then the red
or-
card, then the red card would stick. But in this case here, I thought I thought he tried to play the ball and knock him down. So I think even in this case here, if he would have been the last offender, I thought that even though he's from behind, he was making a play with the ball and he tripped him. And so, but you're right, KD, in terms of if it was one of the things other than playing the ball, then the red card would stick on Dog. So yes.
Yep,
Right.
Okay.
Outside the
Okay.
penalty area.
No, even inside.
No, inside the
Oh,
penalty. area.
outside. No, outside.
Outside,
outside, it's going to stick. Inside, you can give them a break because remember, it's like the law. It's like double jeopardy. That's the reason why they came up with dog. So, in reality, I've heard some people call it triple jeopardy. In terms of the end result, the foul, the penalty kick, and the red card. And so you can't have your cake and eat it too in a situation like that. Outside the penalty area, you're not getting the penalty kick. So therefore, yeah, you need to leave if you do something like that.
Okay, Richard, I know we're getting close on time. I would like to show the video clip number 6. So if you'll permit me to do that.
Yeah, let's do 6 and then people can go and those that want to stick around, maybe we'll hit another one.
Okay. Whoops, I'm sorry. Let me give it another shot. Okay, this is going to, let me just stop it here for a second. This is going to be a free kick from near the touchline. Again, this one is being taken by Kennedy Catholic, which is in white, toward this goal. The goalkeeper is right here on the near post in kind of the green. And the referee had to deal with the little thing here. So he set the ball, and then we're going to go for the free kick, and watch this clip all the way through because this one also has a lot of stuff.
I like the referee's hustle to get in position. Ooh.
Okay, and I'm just because sometimes it's a little tough to see here. Okay, so here's Ray got the referee hustling in to get into position. The only thing is, notice the free kick got taken before the referee got into position, which is a little minor point. The ball's in flight now. The goalkeeper is the one with his hand in the air. So he's going to try, he can't really catch the ball. So he's going to try to bat the ball away. And it's successful. Goalkeeper's coming out now. Goalkeeper is on the ground. Ball is deflected. Hits another player. And in the opinion of the referee. So put your poll up one more time, Richard.
Yep, I'm gonna do it. There it is, I think.
Yep.
When it hit the second player, did it hit a white player or did it hit a blue player?
It hit a blue player.
Thank you.
Okay, about half of us have voted so far.
I'm not sure what we're voting for.
Well, you must have a no foul then,
Pick one of
KD.
those. Pick one of those options.
Okay,
It
we
was a
got
question, yeah.
above 60%, so we'll share the results. So we've got
And-
77% with no foul, and then we've got about 24% with a penalty kick.
Yeah, because if it's a foul, it has to be a penalty.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I shared
so-
it.
Yeah. So this is a kind of a tough one in my opinion. Because you have a goalkeeper that's trying to collect a loose ball inside of his penalty area. He gets a hand on it. The question is, does he have control? Does he have possession? It gets kicked out of his hand by this player that I kind of have my little mouse on. And
But wait,
then-
I'm gonna interrupt you to say that I love the referee's position in this one.
Yes.
Yes.
He's within 10 yards and very close to play to be able to be making decisions on whether or not the goalie had possession of the ball.
So that's a big decision right there by the referee. Nobody's in his way. He's got a clear angle on that. Okay. So the question is there. Okay. And then the ball is kicked by White. And you can't see it really because the other white player, but it is hit an arm that is out by the blue player. And so the referee whistles a penalty kick for the handling by the blue. Okay. I happen to be this AR, by the way. And so let me ask you, do you think I could have provided any information in this particular situation? Anybody?
No.
If you had an unobstructed view to the contact,
Okay. Okay, in my opinion, I didn't, with all those players on the ground and with all that ball coming out from that, I had to look through everything to really give any definitive information to the referee. All I know is I was looking at these two blue players back on the line. Okay?
right?
That was, and this other blue player that was here, okay? Those are my key, those were what I was keying off of, okay? So when you that were in the advanced clinic this weekend, you heard about teamwork, okay? Sometimes your teammate can't really help you out, okay? And back to Richard's point, the referee was in an excellent position to make a decision, whether it's right or wrong, but anyway, he was in an excellent position to make that call, okay? So does anybody have any, if you were looking at VAR and you're up in a VAR booth, would you say you have clear and conclusive evidence that the referee made the wrong decision on this one?
Wayne, just a quick question. If you had information to tell the ref, clearly the ref is in a better position than you, had a better angle, but if you saw something, maybe you saw that handball that hit the arm of the blue defender, what is the mechanics of you alerting the ref that you want to talk without raise? I mean, do you raise your flag? What do you do without undermining his authority?
Generally, we would, if we had a good pregame, we would have discussed this. Okay, if you have information on something like that, my pregame is, if I'm the only one in the whole stadium and in the whole world and only that missed it, and the game, it's a critical match incident that must be called for the good of the game, then I want you to make sure you give me that information. Okay. And what you would do is do a little subtle signal to back, and make eye contact. If a referee should be still making eye contact with the AR, if the AR has any information, and give him a subtle signal And I would, what I tell them to do is take a step on the field, okay? So a little subtle thing, okay? Or put a foot on the field.
But you do not raise your flag.
Do not.
Got it.
I give
And
it
the
a
only,
bet.
I think the only time you would raise your flag there is if you have a foul coming out. You would raise
Right.
your flag and point up the field with your left hand. That would be the mechanic if you had an infraction on the attacking team and you want to come out. The other thing that you would advise here is that, say, for example, the AR had a clear handling on the defensive team. At that point in time, the whistle is blown, and what he would do is walk to the corner flag. Because the only reason why you're walking to the corner flag and take a step inside the corner flag, like you're coming into the intersection of the penalty area and the goal line, that's where you would position yourself for a penalty kick. That you're talking to the referee knows why you're going there because you think there's a penalty kick. That's another silent signal that you would be able to give if you have some direct information that cannot be disputed by anyone. You know, like I tell people, if you're the AR right there, when you get involved, that means you're willing to be cussed out by the whole stadium. When you know that's how you know you're right. When you're willing to get cussed out because you're right, that's when I want you to get involved. If you have any doubt, just be a statue. Just be a statue, and I'm okay with that. Then as a referee, I would take the heat.
Would you also use that signal, the skirt signal, using your flag as a skirt in front of you, in front of your
The
legs?
skirt signal is obsolete.
Yeah, we don't use that one anymore.
Okay.
I would just walk to the corner. Walking to the
yeah.
corner flag would be I think
Yeah.
the safest thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to play what if scenarios, but if, for instance, I was the AR and I did see this last blue player, the ball, and his arm was in an unnatural position, was a barrier or something like that, and the referee had not called a PK, that's when I would give the information to the referee what I saw. Okay, because that is one that is, we don't want another Maradona or anything like that. Okay.
That's where I give that 2-3 second ruling in a sense to see if the center referee saw it or did not see it.
Your original question, Wayne, from this video, could you overturn it as clear and obvious? The answer is no. Either decision, right? Pen or no pen.
Either.
That being said, how close was the attacker when they struck the ball to the defender when it was struck, right? There was no evidence of secondary action because we're obfuscated by the attacking player number 4 or whatever right there, right?
Right.
So it's like, what are the considerations there? Are you unnaturally big? Is it secondary, right? To warrant the pen probably at the end of the match, right?
Right.
So just being mindful of like the scenario. But if you're 100% sure that, yep, they intentionally threw that arm out there to block the ball as it was going into the net. Yep.
So Steve, I saw your question in the chat, and I noticed that the ball ended up into the goal area also. I'm not sure that, I think that was just because after the foul was called, I think someone just kicked it in.
Yeah,
I think enough time had gone by where the ref had to blow the whistle and not hope. So we will keep going. If Wayne, do you want to do another one? And people feel free to go. I try to only do 60 minutes. And I appreciate everybody's time tonight. I hope you got something out of the videos. I think it's great to be able to see our games and our situations and be able to talk them through to help each other have our games go more smoother for us. And I appreciate all the referees who were in the videos and their contributions. And who knows, next month, any one of you may be our video actors.
Okay, I think I only want to show one more. Okay.
Okay, perfect, Wayne.
Okay, so let me see if can you guys see my screen?
No, you're not sharing yet.
Okay, I'm not sharing yet, okay. Let's get over here. You see that now?
Yep.
Okay, and I don't think I showed this one. If I did, tell me I did. Clip
No,
number 4.
I don't think you did.
Okay. And this is a short one, so I'm going to play it again and kind of freeze it and then drag my slider. And again, blue is attacking. 1 player versus 2 defenders. Ball is being crossed in or flighted in from the left of your screen to the 1 player that's in the center of the screen, sandwiched between the 2 white defenders and the goalkeeper. And the question right there is this contact. So for kicks and giggles, Richard, go ahead and put that poll up one more time. Do you have a
Wait, Can you play it the rest of the way through for us, Wayne, so I can
Yeah,
see the?
yeah.
Perfect. We're almost to halfway. Okay, we got 70%. So we got 38% with no foul, 29% with a foul, 17% with a penalty kick, 13% with a penalty kick and caution, and 4% with a send-off.
So it's about, I'm just going to go say 50-50 with no foul, or the other half have penalty kick of some sort, right?
Yep.
So let's hear some voices.
Goalkeeper had position.
So the goalkeeper, the referee goalkeeper's perception is that the goalkeeper had possession of or played on the ball.
Position.
Position.
Okay.
Players came into him.
So you're saying that the goalkeeper is on the line, on his line, or on the goal line, as the ball is being flighted in.
I could be wrong, but I had the defender pushing the attacker in the back, which partly resulted in running into the keeper. I had Penn.
That was what I saw, but I don't have a really good view of that. It's very hard to tell. If I were the AR, I'd be in a better position to call that.
If you were the AR at the top of the screen.
Yeah, I'm with Jeremy. If there is a foul to be called, it would only be on that white defender and not the keeper. I think the keeper has the right to go for the ball. He has the right to be in that position as the attacker. There's no foul on the keeper. If there's any foul, it's on the defender. But from this angle, I can't tell if there was a push in the back.
Agree.
Yeah, and in the chat, there was a comment that, again, we've got the referee in pretty good position to be able to see the contact, whether that be initiated by the white defender into the attacker, and or the attacker just going into the keeper, and or maybe the keeper coming out and blasting the attacker.
Does the attacker go up and try to head the ball? And that's what's hard to see here. I'm kind of feeling if this was a penalty kick decision, it would have been a longer video and we would probably see a little bit more to it. So based on that, I'm thinking that the goalkeeper is looking at the ball coming in. Obviously the attacker's coming in, but it looks like that the attacker is just running straight through as opposed to leaping for the ball. I'd give the attacker the benefit of the doubt if he's leaping for the ball. But in this case here, I don't know. I'm looking at the attacker fouling the goalkeeper and have a foul with the ball coming out.
Ball coming out, I agree.
I think one of
You
the
went
things,
airborne there.
if you look at the
I think he was going for
defender,
the head. So yeah, it's hard, it's tough, but I think he was going for the header.
so if you look at the defender, he puts his left foot down in the ground, and that means he's making a movement towards the attacker.
Kind of a lunge. Is that what you're saying,
Are you
Craig?
going to say
Yeah,
that again?
he's making that move to the attacker. So as the defender's running in, right as the ball comes into the playability for the attacker, his last step is with his outside foot. So he's pushing in. He knows he's making contact at the point that the ball gets there.
It's a savvy play. Yeah.
So what do you got, Craig,
I'm calling it PK.
for the push in the back by the?
Yes, by the defender.
Vasilis here, and you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead.
So what I see, I agree with Greg that the defender, he look at him that he pushing with his arm the attacker instead to play the ball. And I will come back to this weekend that we mentioned that we need to know the game that we play, know some players, read the game, know what's going on. And the fact that I play this team a lot, I know this specific player, he using his hands a lot.
Okay.
Inside or outside the penalty area. He doesn't have any limits, but sometimes the pushes it's harder, even if the ball is involved or without ball involved. And that's something that because I know the specific team and some of the player, how they played.
Okay.
And the view that I have, this is what gives me the understanding that it's potentially of what I see, I would give a penalty kick. I know the referee was on the right position. He have clear view, but yeah.
Vasilius, is that the same defender that we saw in our first video tonight?
Yes, that's the same defender that he does the foul and he received the yellow card. Because at this time, he just grabbed the shirt and pulling.
Do we have any players on this call? Any defenders?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm asking if there's anybody else here who's a player, you know,
Oh.
and you're a defender and you get beat on the inside. What are you doing? Are you going to put that bump on that guy?
If I do, I'm at least going to raise my hands up in the air and act like I didn't touch him.
Yeah, there you go. We noticed the defender didn't have his hands in his back like the rest of the MLS guys.
Yeah. So, and I had the, so I get to watch all these and then respond, to questions that come up. And I watched this one, and I mean, I'd love to hear, I think Pablo seems like he's in is that Pablo's clip, right? Is that the KM game?
That is
with the
that is
keeper.
Pavel's.
Yeah. So I feel like he's in a good position there. And, it's kind of like from that video, I'm not feeling like, I wish I had 5 more angles to see like where the defender's hands were, like, was the contact made by the defender before the ball, got to the goalkeeper? Like, there's a whole bunch of things I'd want to factor in there. But given where he was at on that play, I felt like, I think he's, if he didn't feel like the defender moved into the attacker and knocked the attacker into the goalkeeper, he had that angle view. And so I would have been okay if he called a PK, because then he would have seen that, and I'm perfectly fine with him not calling a PK and calling a foul coming out, because I feel like he's in that position to see it, and I don't get better camera angles to make a different decision, I guess.
What was the decision during the game?
No PK.
It was was it a foul?
No foul.
Okay, so here's my comment about not having a foul. Anytime there's contact with the keeper, there's a foul.
Here.
You cannot,
I agree
in this
100%.
case here, you cannot
Wayne,
have a
I
foul.
called
I thought
that last clip. I called a foul going on.
I thought he called.
Oh,
the foul
that's right.
coming out.
That's right. I'm sorry,
I
Pavel.
called the foul coming up. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm a keeper. Foul going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's one thing as when I assess and coach games, that always amazes me when there's some significant contact with the keeper and like there's no whistle blown. It's like, at least blow the whistle. Even if you're not going to give a penalty kick, at least at least let the goalkeeper's mom know that you like him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, then that's the lady who's going to be cussing you out on the way to the parking lot after the game, whether they win or lose. You got to protect her baby in a situation like that. So, yeah.
So,
Hey, Richard, I got one little more thing about this game. And you started out this I think your second clip about coach bench area, technical area. I purposely took the Kennedy Catholic bench just because just say that. And Kennedy has, like Zach Scott is one of the assistant coaches on that team. And so you're dealing with a bunch of ex-Sounders and stuff. And, Doug is on that side. Conversely, KM is no, Sunday school class either. Alexei came up to me, several times during that game, came completely out of his technical area to protest several calls. I mean, perhaps I should have dealt with it, and that's me reflecting and, and help Pavel out a little bit on that. And so that one's on me. Okay. So, I just want to let you know that, there was both sides that equally misbehaved on the sidelines there. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's the important part, is that you guys are going to be dealing with these guys in playoffs here in 2 weeks, and they're worse in playoffs than they are in regular season. But you got to figure out how to use your personality to catch them off guard and get them to understand that for that night's game, you want them in their technical area and behaving appropriately. And if they don't want to behave appropriately, you've warned them, and they'll eat their first card. And you probably won't have any more problems, because they're going to be like, we don't want to be the center of attention. And all of these high school teams, the coaches, you've got some coaches out there that are great. They're there for sportsmanship, supporting that it's an extension of the classroom. And then you've got some of these coaches out there that they're trying to be best buds with these high school students, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Beyond that, I guess they just spend a lot of time together. And they're not making us the good guy, they're making us the bad guy and not doing their part of making sure that it is an extension of the classroom. So just remember what you're dealing with, and let's just take care of it. And they know the laws of the game, and if you deal with it early, you'll have a smoother game, because what you permit, you promote. And if they're yelling at you in the first 2 minutes, it's going to be a long 78 minutes to go. So I appreciate everybody's participation tonight. Hopefully you all got a little bit of information out of it, and we'll see you all out on the pitch soon. Thank you, everyone.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. So also I want to add on this thing